When I was little, my grandma would always pick up pennies on the sidewalk. And I said, "Why do you do this?" And she told me the story about this man who would also pick up pennies on the sidewalk. But he was rich, he didn't need them. And a lady said, "Why do you do that? You don't need the pennies, you're rich." And he said, "Look at the top. It says, 'In God we trust.'" Don't do that. I know how I feel about God, but it's my story. You wanted to hear it. Just let me tell you. Okay. It says, "In God we trust," and it's a message from God, so who am I to pass it by? I didn't really think much of it because there's a penny store and it didn't relate to me until I found out that my grandma had brain cancer. I was in New York and my dad called me. And he said, "Caitlin, grandmother has tumors on her brain and she's having seizures." I lost it. I completely lost it. And I looked down at my feet and there were 2 pennies. "In God we trust," I thought. I flew straight home and I went straight to the hospital and there was my grandmother. They had given her 2 months to live. I put the pennies in her hand and she looked shocked that I remembered the story. She told me from that day forward, after she was gone, every penny I found would be from her. I didn't really believe in this story. I didn't think she could actually throw them down. Until the day of her funeral. There were pennies absolutely scattered everywhere. It was amazing. There were pennies in my jean pockets. There were pennies on the stairs that weren't there the 12 times I passed before. My grandmother was an amazing person. And even if she's not the one throwing down the pennies, I'd like to think she is.